Papa Pepper. I'm not a builder, but I'm learning. Alright guys, Papa Pepper here today, talking to you about just learning. I'm not a builder, but I am learning. And one thing you're going to have to understand about me is that practicality sometimes trumps so much in my life that I really just do things in a way that a lot of people, I guess, wouldn't potentially. I'm not sure, but from what I've seen of people out there, they don't really do things this way. For instance, this poultry little, chicken coop, whatever you want to call it, behind me. I have no idea how long it is, how wide it is, how tall it is in the front, how tall it is in the back, what the slope is. None of that. Now, is it plumb and is it level and things like that? Yeah, it's pretty close, pretty good. Especially for me with just cedar posts and some 3B lumber I picked up. Now, the neat thing is, I don't have to know how long, how tall, how wide, any of that. I don't. Length, width, height, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to me. What I have to do is have something that's going to serve a purpose, it's going to function well, that's going to be there for a long time, that's going to, look presentable at least to a certain degree, and that's what I have. You can see I ran the boards from there to the end. I still haven't trimmed them straight over here yet, but I did want a nice overhang. I'm going to run a gutter, run it down to a downspout, run it into a probably a 55-gallon barrel, and then have a hose hooked up to the barrel that I can just fill their watering system with. So that's going to be good. Now that's number one. I've got 3 of these chicken pens in a row. Initially, when I bring them down here, one will be for chickens, one will be for guinea fowl, and one will be for ducks, Muscovy ducks. But things are going to happen. The guineas will probably be released onto the land to help with the ticks to a certain degree, other things. So things will shift, things will whatever. I'm also going to run rabbits through them, and then potentially when things start growing up and getting higher, I'll throw a little goat in there or a little sheep in there for a while, just let them lawn mow a bunch of stuff, and then put them back out. So, as things grow, it'll be used as a food source as well for sheep, goats, rabbits, things like that. Now, on the fence lines, I do plan on growing various foods, passion fruits and some perennials potentially, but then also some that are going to be an annual, and I will just run them up the fence line. I'll just watch it, the rabbits won't eat it once it gets so high, but I'll have to watch out when I put goats in there or something like that. And then I'm also going to plant some fruit trees in there. I'm going to try to get some in today. So these areas are going to be used to house our animals. They're going to be providing us with meat and with eggs, and then they're also going to be, these areas, used as a food source for the animals, and additionally a food source for us as things are produced there. So as I'm just building these, it doesn't really matter. They don't all have to match. This one, has a window. Right there maybe. The other one doesn't have a window in the front. The next one's going to be completely different in a couple ways, at least as far as it is in my mind. Across the way too, you can see I've got a, is it right over there? I've got the one for the quail heading in. That thing's got an upper level little shelf storage unit that is going to be there too. My wife's like, why are you building so big if it's just for quail? I'm like, well, to build it a quarter of the size or 4 times the size isn't much of a difference in effort. It uses up more material, but the thing is that I'll just have more areas outside of the weather and outside of the elements to store things. So as I get all around that, now I finally stick the landing, right? I got a 3-minute and 45-second intro. I'm not a builder, so when I'm building, I just kind of do things. When I did this one, the one that I'm sitting up on right now, it's bigger than the last one, which is good. Bigger the better sometimes, right? But what I did is I made it where if I run a board from over there across this way, it didn't even reach. So the majority of the boards, because they're not all sawn to a certain length. Now some of them do. The one I'm sitting on goes from the top all the way down to the bottom, but there's not, the big overhang you have like over there. So all these boards aren't the same length. A couple of them fit. I go up there and check the rest, and it seems like some of the skinnier ones are longer. Some of the wider ones I actually want to use for the roof are a little bit shorter. So they're at least, somewhere around 8 to 9 feet. But so what I had to do is put a top board on, and then I screwed a board on the bottom, so this extends it over. This will buy me some length to the edge, and to have my overhang in the back I'll actually have to put on a small addition too, which is fine. I can do it. But so I screwed a board on the top, which gave me some length in, and then I screwed a board to the bottom of that, added a couple little supports down there to help hold it up, and now I have somewhere for these boards to rest. Now these will be covered in metal. That one there, you know, it looks like a pretty good solid roof, but there's spaces in between. It's just something I want sturdy enough. I'm not going to need to walk on it, but I wanted it that sturdy as kind of a measuring test for just kind of structural integrity. So, you know, I can walk, I can jump on that. It's 1.5 inch oak on top. So it's kind of built like a tank, very nice and strong. But, so it'll be covered in metal. This isn't going to create any issues here as far as with water soaking down into the structure. But it's an opportunity for me, as what I would say a non-builder, as somebody who doesn't have experience in this, to think a little bit more as I move forward about the length, the width, and the height. Again, I still don't need to know how big they are, but it's going to create extra work for me to add this in first, and then add something on if I do want an overhang. If I want an overhang, I'll figure out about how long the board is, figure out, you know, about how long the slope is, figure out how long it's going to need to have something overhanging, and then move forward from there. So living, learning, this one's still going to be great. Is it still going to be worth my effort? Absolutely. It's still going to be cost effective. It's still going to be great. And then if you guys see back over there, the white thing probably, right there. That is no, that's my truck. This one. That's a trailer load full of ICFs, insulated concrete forms. It wasn't my original idea or goal, but there's reasons that we went with it. But I'm going to fill in that hole soon enough and make well, it's going to be a root cellar, but it's also going to be a storm shelter. So that's going to be the actual biggest project on the land. We have moved a mobile home here. We have moved a shipping container here. But over there, there, shipping container, mobile home. But this is going to be the biggest build on the land. So I'm glad I have some experience in just seeing things done. My neighbor did his basement with ICFs. In fact, a lot of his house actually went above ground too. And now we're going to do our root cellar and storm shelter like it. It's starting to drizzle again. We've had a very nice rainy season lately, and thankfully I can work in the rain, and I still got some perimeter fence to put up, so driving T-posts into the earth is easier when the ground is saturated with water rather than when it's baked hard like a rock with the clay and stuff. So alright, I'm gonna get to work. Just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm not sure how many of you guys are like me, that you're going to start off building and have no idea really what size it is other than a rough estimate of, hey, it's going to kind of go over here and be about like this. But that's something to consider. Just length, width, height, the building materials you're using. Because all these, I mean, the length, the width, and the height is a board length on that entire thing. You know, it's a board length or less. So I didn't really have to add 2 boards, you know, into any section, which is nice. Take the resources I have, use them the best way I can without cutting them much, getting the maximum really size with the boards that I had, but then also not needing to use multiple boards per size. There's stuff in the future that I'll need to do that with, but so far, so good. That's that. Alright, Papa out.
As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people, where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out Steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.